Hello and welcome back. Today we're diving into a very important topic that many of you have been asking about. Especially with the recent announcements from Canada's Immigration Minister, there's been a lot of concern and uncertainty. So this video is a must-watch. Make sure to stick around for the full details, as I'll be addressing a crucial question. What should you do if your work permit is expiring? I'll be covering all the options available to you. This is such an important topic and I've received a lot of requests to cover it, which is why I'm sharing this video with you today. Now, to give you an idea of the scope, we're talking about nearly 250,000 to 300,000 people whose work permits have expired or are about to expire. It's a significant number. Many people were expecting to receive an extension, as it has happened twice before with the 18-month extensions. There was hope for another extension or a transition from TR to PR, but unfortunately, no steps have been taken, and now a lot of work permits are expiring. If your work permit is expiring, you don't have much time left to act, so it's crucial to understand your options moving forward. Before we start this video, if you are coming to our channel for the very first time, then please consider subscribing to our channel to get most up-to-date news, tips and tricks about immigration. I always try to bring videos which could help you and help you learn and be independent. Be sure to subscribe, as all the information I provide is completely free. I also try to respond to all your questions in the comments section, and you can reach out to me on my social media handles on Instagram. I am getting a lot of requests on my Instagram because of number of queries I get. Still, I try to reply. So don't forget to follow us there as well. Alright, let's jump right into the options if your work permit is about to expire. These are crucial, so make sure to listen closely. The first option is to pursue further studies in Canada. While you won't be able to get another post-graduation work permit, PGWP, you can apply for a study permit to extend your stay longer in Canada. Keep in mind though, this won't give you another shot at a PGWP. Now the second option is a bit different. You can apply for a LMIA-based closed work permit, also known as an employer-specific work permit. What this means is you'll need a job offer from a specific employer and your work permit will be tied to that employer. This option gives you the ability to stay and work, but with a set time limit. Here's the catch. The open work permit, which gave you the freedom to work anywhere, is no longer available. So the employer-specific work permit is something you need to seriously consider if your work permit is running out. Let's take a moment to discuss an option that might seem lighthearted but can actually be a solution to your problem: marriage. Yes, you heard that right. Marriage can be a way to navigate your work permit issues. If you marry someone with status in Canada, especially if they have a work permit or PR, you could qualify for a spousal open work permit or even special PR status through them. Next, another option to consider is applying for a visitor record, which allows you to extend your stay in Canada for up to 6 months or more. This could buy you valuable time while you figure out your next steps. One thing I want to emphasize is that not every option is right for everyone. There's no one-size-fits-all solution here. It's really important to find the option that works best for your situation. I strongly recommend you to do your own research to find out which option is best for you as per your situation. Now, after considering the visitor record option, another option is to return to your home country. I know many people hesitate or are even afraid of this step, often because of what others might say, whether neighbors, friends, or even people in your village. But honestly, there's nothing wrong with going back, especially if you have a plan. In fact, going back could give you the chance to re-enter Canada the right way through proper PR channels. You have Canadian studies and you do have work experience inside Canada. So if you return back to your home country, then work in skilled field back home to gain some experience. After some time, you can submit your application under express entry and get direct PR and re-enter Canada. Now, the next option is refugee option, and I want to stress that it's not for everyone. It's only for a very small group of people, and I strongly advise that you do not implement it unless it's the right fit for your situation. I'm being very clear about this. Please don't jump to this option without careful consideration. I want to be very clear. This option exists, but it's not for everyone. Please don't rush into it without fully understanding the risks. It can be dangerous for you if it's not the right fit. This option is for rare cases only, so please be cautious. Seeking refugee status is another option, but it's not as simple as it might sound. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I know you've probably heard many different things from bloggers or other sources. But I'm here to tell you the facts and what's truly right for your situation. Next, I want to talk about the support letter you can file with your PNP application. Now, when it comes to getting a support letter through the Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, keep in mind that not all provinces are offering this option. For example, provinces like Alberta and Manitoba are providing support letters, but not every province does. If you've already submitted a PNP application in one of these provinces, you might receive an expression of interest or an invitation. From there, the support letter can help you secure an open work permit, which is a great option if you're waiting on your PNP results. So if you're in a province that offers it, definitely consider this route. So this is a viable option applying for PNP. Keep in mind the PNP application process takes long time, but here's the key. You can request a support letter from the province where your application is being processed meanwhile your application is in process. This support letter can then help you apply for an open work permit, allowing you to continue working while your PNP application is under review. That's the basic concept behind the support letter. It acts as a bridge, giving you the ability to stay and work in Canada while your PNP application is in progress. Let's move to next option. Today, I'm diving into an important option that many people are confused about, the Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP. Surprisingly, not many people know about this. Since there is a lot of confusion, so I thought to cover this topic in detail. People often make mistakes because they don't have the right information, and that's what I'm here to clear up for you. The Bridging Open Work Permit is a crucial option, and I'll explain how it works. Plus, if there's any other topic you'd like me to cover, just drop a comment below and I'll make sure to create a video on it. The Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP. The name says it all. It's a bridge that connects one stage to another. Essentially, it allows you to continue working while waiting for your permanent residency PR application to be processed. So what's the purpose of the Bridging Open Work Permit? It's simple. The BOWP lets you keep working with any employer while your PR application is in progress. If your work permit is about to expire and you've already applied for PR, this permit ensures you can stay in Canada and continue working without any interruptions. The Bridging Open Work Permit is meant to bridge the gap between your current work permit expiring and the time you're waiting for a decision on your PR application. Let's say your work permit is about to expire, but you've already submitted your PR application, maybe through express entry. After submitting, it can take anywhere from 2 to 4 months or even longer for a decision depending on the situation. During this waiting period, if your work permit is expiring, what should you do? That's where the Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP, comes in. You can apply for it and continue working without any interruption. It gives you the freedom to keep working without any restrictions while your PR application is being processed. That's the basic idea. Now let's move and dive into more details. Now let's move on to the biggest benefits or advantages of this permit. As I mentioned earlier, you can continue working with your current employer while waiting for your PR application to be processed. You'll be able to file for the BOWP and continue working for the next 3-4 months without any interruptions. The beauty of an open work permit is that you don't need to rely on anyone for an LMIA. There's no need to beg your employer to sponsor you, no need to ask for favors, and certainly no need to spend extra money on getting approvals. It's a straightforward rule. With an open work permit, you have the freedom to work for any employer. If you're not happy with your current job, you can easily switch employers without the restrictions of an LMIA. This gives you the flexibility and independence to make your own decisions, no more limitations, no more feeling like you're tied to one employer. Another great benefit of the Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP, is the stability it provides. Even if your work permit expires and your PR hasn't been approved yet, you won't have to sit idle. You can continue working, staying productive, and maintaining your income. This stability is what makes the BOWP so valuable. Let's move. Now, let's address the question, which programs are eligible for BOWP? One of the most common programs for BOWP is Express Entry, which, as you know, is a favorite of mine. Many people who have applied through Express Entry are eligible to apply for the BOWP. However, I know there are many who are unsure about this process or even unaware of what to do next. That's where we come in to guide you through applying for the BOWP, making sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. Now let's talk about when to file for the Bridging Open Work Permit. Once you receive your invitation to apply ITA through Express Entry, you have 60 days to submit your EAPR, Electronic Application for Permanent Residence. These 60 days are critical for submitting your application. It's also important to note that once you've received your ITA and are working on your EAPR, you're eligible to apply for the BOWP. It's clearly mentioned in the process that if your work permit is about to expire and you filed for Express Entry, you can apply for the BOWP. But here's something very important that I want to highlight. If your profile is still in the pool of Express Entry and you haven't received your ITA yet, you cannot apply for the BOWP. Only after you receive the ITA and submit your application can you apply for the Bridging Open Work Permit. Please pay close attention to this detail. I want to stress a very important point here. If your Express Entry profile is still in the pool and you haven't received your ITA invitation to apply, you cannot apply for the Bridging Open Work Permit. So if you've received your ITA and submitted your file, then you can apply for the BOWP. For example, if someone says, please put me in for the BOWP, I always ask, have you received your ITA? If the answer is no, then you're not eligible for the BOWP. It's that simple. So it's very important to understand that distinction. Let's move. Additionally, if you filed under any PNP program and are waiting for a decision, you can apply for the BOWP. And for those in the Quebec Skilled Worker Program, the same applies. You can apply for the BOWP while waiting for your PR. The next topic, which is a personal favorite of mine, is home child care. In the past, those working in home child care or caring for the elderly were able to get a work permit under this program. However, now with the new program, there's a direct path to PR. But here's the thing. If your work permit is about to expire and you haven't received PR yet, you can apply for the Bridging Open Work Permit. As soon as you file your PR application, the BOWP ensures that your work permit doesn't expire, allowing you to continue working. Another category that works similarly is the Agri-Food Pilot. Under this system, you can also apply for the BOWP while waiting for your PR. So both the Home Child Care Program and the Agri-Food Pilot offer opportunities to use the BOWP to bridge the gap while your PR is being processed. So these are the programs where you can apply for the BOWP. Let's move. The eligibility criteria. It's important to understand who qualifies for the Bridging Open Work Permit. I have seen many people with cases where they filed for Express Entry and their work permit is about to expire, thinking that's all they need to apply for the BOWP. But that's not the case. The first and most important condition is that you must be residing in Canada at the time of application. This means you need to be physically in Canada when you apply for the BOWP. Secondly, your current work permit should be valid but about to expire, typically within 2 to 4 months. This is a key requirement if you want to continue working while your PR application is in process. If you don't apply in time and let your permit expire, you'll be out of status, which is a major mistake. Always make sure to apply within that 4-month window to avoid any issues and stay in status while waiting for your PR. Next is, if your work permit is about to expire soon, you should apply for the BOWP right away. Don't wait. If you've already submitted your permanent residence application in any of the programs I mentioned earlier, you are eligible to apply for the BOWP. Now let me get to the fourth and final point. This is extremely important, so open your ears and listen carefully. Many people make a critical mistake here. The acknowledgement of receipt, AOR, is essential. The AOR is basically a confirmation that says, "We've received your PR application and we're processing it." Without the AOR, you cannot apply for the BOWP. Make sure you have this acknowledgement of receipt before moving forward with the BOWP application. It's not enough just to submit your PR application. You need that official acknowledgement to proceed. So, having an AOR is critical to moving forward with the BOWP application. Make sure you understand this concept clearly. Next, let's move next topic, which is duration and extensions of BOWP. Now, the next common question which is asked, how long does the BOWP duration last for? As you know that for most programs like Express Entry, the total processing time is around 3 to 4 months to get final result. For many PNP programs, the processing time to process your application can be as long as 7 or 8 months. So typically, you'll be granted a BOWP for 1 year. So initial duration of BOWP is 1 year. But what happens if your PR application process takes longer than a year? Maybe there's a delay due to a complicated case, or it's just taking more time. Yes, you can extend your BOWP if needed. If your application isn't finalized within a year, you have the option to apply for an extension. Let's move. Now let's talk about what happens to your family members during this process, whether you're single or married. If you're married, your spouse and children may also be affected by your work permit status. For example, if your work permit expires, your spouse and children could also fall out of status. So what are the options for them? Once the principal applicant applies for the bridging open work permit, the spouse can also apply for an open work permit, allowing them to continue working. For children who are studying, you can apply for a study permit to keep them in school. If the children are not yet studying, you can apply for a visitor record to maintain their status. And for children who are of working age, you can apply for a work permit for them as well. This is important to understand so that all family members remain in status while waiting for the PR process to be completed. Let's move. Now let's get into the cost. The government fee for applying for the BWP is $255. This includes $100 for the open work permit fee and $155 for the work permit processing fee. As for the processing time, it typically takes about 3 to 4 months, though in some cases it may be processed a little sooner. Let's move. Now, this next part is very important, so don't skip it. This is where most people make mistakes, and I want to help you avoid them. Let's talk about the common mistakes people make when applying for the Bridging Open Work Permit, BOWP. The first mistake is applying for the BOWP without having the AOR, Acknowledgement of Receipt. This is crucial. Without the AOR, your application will be rejected. So always ensure you have the AOR before submitting your application. Another common mistake is thinking, why should we attach all the documents again? You need to reattach all the required documents when applying for the BWP. Failing to do so will result in your application being rejected. So make sure everything is in order and all necessary documents are included. Another common issue is when people decide to do it themselves thinking, I've got this, there's nothing to worry about. But let me tell you, this can be a very risky move. When you try to handle everything yourself, mistakes can easily happen, and those mistakes lead to rejections. One more problem I've seen is that many PR applicants assume that they will automatically get the BOWP. Let me be clear, nothing is automatic. You will not get the BOWP without applying for it properly, so don't fall into this trap. Lastly, another mistake people make is with the fees. Paying the wrong fee, like paying only $155 or $100 instead of the full amount, will result in a rejection. The fee is $255 in total, so make sure to get it right. These are the key issues that people run into, so be sure to avoid these mistakes to ensure a smooth application process. If you need help, feel free to reach out to us for assistance. We're here to assist you in every way possible. I hope you guys find my videos useful. I always try to bring videos which could help you and help you learn and be independent. If you like our video, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.